In episode 1, we found the mind that Africa forgot. In episode 2, we named the cage that keeps it prisoner. Today, episode 3, we go to the beginning. Not the beginning of the problem, the beginning of the person. Because if you want to understand why Africa's greatest minds grow up afraid of their own greatness, you do not start in a classroom. You do not start on the street. You start in the home. You start with the child. Before the first teacher ever spoke your child's name, you were already teaching. Before the first textbook was ever opened, the curriculum had already begun. Every home is a classroom. Every parent is a teacher. Every meal, every silence, every raised voice, every act of love, every moment of neglect, every single day inside that home is a lesson. And the child, that extraordinary, absorbent, infinitely perceptive child, is taking notes every single day. A child does not learn what you tell them. A child learns what you show them. A child does not absorb your instructions. A child absorbs your life, your habits, your fears, your faith, your relationship with failure, your relationship with greatness, your relationship with yourself. This is not theory. This is not psychology from a Western textbook. This is something every African grandmother has always known. The child is watching, always. And what they see becomes what they believe is possible for the rest of their lives. What happened between 7 and 17? No disaster, no single traumatic event. Just 10 years of absorbing the world's verdict on who she was and what she was worth. 10 years of being told, in 100 different ways, that the drawing in the dirt was not a future. It was a distraction. 10 years of watching the people she loved most treat their own dreams as luxuries they could not afford. And she learned, the way children always learn, completely and without question. I want you to listen carefully to the sentences I am about to say, because you have heard every single one. Some of you said them this morning. Some of you are still hearing them in the voice of someone you love. Listen. Every one of those sentences was said with love. Every single one. The parent who said them was trying to protect, trying to prepare, trying to arm their child against a world they know is hard. But here is what those sentences actually teach. They teach the child that the world is a threat, that dreams are dangerous, that who you are naturally is not enough, that safety is more important than significance. And a child who learns those lessons early will spend the rest of their adult life making decisions based on fear and calling it wisdom. Ada, age 9, enters the room where her father sits, holding up a drawing with pure, unguarded hope.
Very good. Now go and read your mathematics. Exam is next week.
He loves her. There is no question about that. He would give his life for her. But in that ordinary, unremarkable moment, he handed her an invisible verdict. What you create does not matter. What the exam says does. And Ada, brilliant, perceptive, loving Ada, filed that verdict away. She did not argue. She did not protest. She went and read her mathematics. And the city she imagined that could have changed Africa's future stayed folded in her pocket. For years.
Wait, show me how this part works. What is this supposed to do here?
One question. That is all it took. One genuine question. Not praise, not performance. A real question that said, I see what you are building. I want to understand it. You are worth understanding. Do you know what that does to the architecture of a child's mind? Do you understand what happens in the brain of a young person when they say, "Tell me more"? It confirms that what is inside me matters, that my mind has value, that I am seen. The difference between Kalade and Ada was not intelligence. It was not resources. It was not destiny. It was not even which school they attended. The difference was one question, one person who leaned forward instead of turning away. One home that treated the child's inner world as something worth visiting. This is not complicated. This is not expensive. It does not require a university degree or a parenting manual. It requires presence. It requires attention. It requires a parent willing to ask, who is this child? Not, who do I need them to become, but who are they?
I want to ask this room something, and I need you to answer it honestly. Not to me, to yourself. When was the last time you asked your child what they dream about? Not what grade they got, not whether they finished their chores, not what they want to study. What they dream about. I am not here to accuse anyone. The parents in this room, you have worked harder than I can imagine. You have sacrificed things your children will never fully know. You have loved them in the way you were taught to love. Through provision, through protection, through discipline. All of that is real. All of that is good. But I want to suggest that there is one more thing. One thing that costs nothing and changes everything. That most of our children are not receiving. Permission. Permission to be exactly who they actually are.
Ada still has the drawing. 10 years later, she still has it. She cannot explain why she kept it. She would not be able to put it into words, but somewhere she kept it. Because the dream does not die easily. It is patient. It waits. It lives in folded paper, at the bottom of school bags, and in the back of minds. The dream waits for one person, one moment, one question.
My daughter, she likes to draw buildings. Since she was small, I always told her to face her books. I thought it was distraction. Is it too late? She is 17. Is it too late?
It is never too late. Go home tonight. Ask her about the drawings. Just the drawings. Ask her to show you. And then lean forward and listen. That is where it starts.
I want to speak to two groups of people right now. The first group are the parents, the elders, the teachers, the aunts and uncles and community leaders who hold the futures of children in their daily decisions. I want to say this with full respect and full love. The child in your home right now is not a project to be completed. They are not an investment to be managed. They are not a second chance at the life you did not get to live. They are a complete human being with their own mind, their own gifts, their own divine assignment, who has been placed in your care. Not to be shaped into your image, but to be protected long enough to discover their own. The question Africa must begin asking, in every home, in every school, in every community, is not, how do we make our children successful? The question is, how do we raise children who are free enough within themselves to discover what success actually means for who they actually are? The second group I am speaking to are the adults who were once that child. The ones who had the drawing, who had the song, who had the invention in the notebook, who had the question the teacher silenced, who had the dream that was folded and put in a pocket and carried quietly for years. I want you to hear this. The fact that nobody leaned forward then does not mean it is too late now. The fact that nobody asked you then does not mean you cannot ask yourself now. Right now, tonight, What did you put away? What did you fold up and carry? Too afraid to unfold? In case it was ruined? Unfold it. It is not ruined. It has been waiting. With extraordinary patience, it has been waiting for you to come back.
Ada, show me the drawings. Tell me about this. Tell me everything.
Children are the first test, not of systems, not of governments, not of economies. Children are the first test of us, of what we truly value, of what we actually believe is possible, of whether we have the courage to raise a generation that is freer than we were. Africa does not need more managed children. Africa needs more seen ones. Start tonight. Ask the question, lean forward, and listen. The future of this continent is sitting in your living room, waiting for someone to ask. Three episodes, three truths, and we are only just beginning. If this episode moved you, if you heard your own name somewhere in Ada's story, or if you recognize yourself in the parent who turned away from the drawing, then do one thing tonight. One thing. Ask the child in your life what they dream about and lean forward. Episode 4 drops tomorrow. It is called The Multiple Faces of Existence, and it will take you somewhere deeper than we have gone yet, into the question of who you actually are beneath everything the world has told you to be. Subscribe. Share this with a parent. Share this with a teacher. Share it with someone whose child is waiting to be asked. See you tomorrow.